talked about the Trump supporters with regards to, quote unquote, the intolerant left. Let me explain, because I am a real independent. A lot of people don't understand that. They don't understand why I have some of the opinions I share on this channel. I want to sit down and take some time to explain for the newbie. I'll just pretend that you're from an alien planet who's not from Earth. I'll explain the mindset of a real independent. I just think that it's important for people to know that the intolerant left will ostracize even minorities, Muslims, blacks, Hispanics. Of course, they'll ostracize their own, other whites, if you don't go along with their political talking points. And if you're labeled a conspiracy theorist by the left or by the right, it's social suicide. You see, journalists don't exactly get a memo saying if you talk about certain things, you could pass up your own promotion possibilities of. They just know that. You think that's limited to journalism? Or do you think that there are people in dominant Democrat communities, Republican communities, or today, i.e. those that are backing Donald Trump? Do you think that real independent thought is respected? Or do you think it's dissuaded? Do you see evidence of people that are truly independent being blamed for being someone's supposed political enemy? More so, are you involved in that? Do you call anyone that opposes Donald Trump a libtard? Or do you call anyone that supports Donald Trump a Nazi? And someone could be a racist but not a Nazi. Have you considered that? Have you considered that? I might also ask you if you've considered how the actions of the U.S. military in Afghanistan and Iraq, how in some ways it's been worse than things that we've seen in the past. It's just that it's not popular to talk about that. And so from the left to the right, they don't really talk about or show compassion for Afghans. So you have social justice warriors on the left, right, that are operating out of self-interest. And it's not just about the Mideast issue. I made mention of this in a previous video. You have an intolerant left. I use examples like Portland as something that I know very well, what's happening there, those groups, those people. And I know that if you're considered to be a conspiracy theorist, if you're thinking outside the box, if you're challenging their methods of protest, oh, you might as well be the right. I think some Portlanders need to hear this. I think some people on the left need to hear this, because there are forms of fascism and dogma that they carry with them to the protest. This is not like a new epiphany. You saw my re-upload of that 2007 video of going to the protest in Portland, Oregon, and basically checking the apathy factor. Now, that was when Bush was the president. And basically, you know, there I am checking the apathy factor. When Obama became the president, it became very unpopular to be concerned about certain things. No shit. So some of the things that I was talking about as an independent at the time, I was talking about the federal government's exercises that it did during the Bush administration, which it really reinforced in late 2008. And that was actually right before the election, so going from Bush to Obama. And there was a fair amount of people concerned simply because Bush was the president when black helicopters, MH-6 Little Bird, black helicopters that were operated by the Night Stalkers, Navy Special Warfare Unit. But then when Obama came in and there were stories about drones over Portland, Oregon, federal government surveillance, an expansion of Homeland Security activity, you see, people sleepwalked into the Joint Terrorism Task Force, the JTTF, which is the Portland police working closely with the federal government investigating those, perhaps surveilling those, putting those on a list, or watching those that the federal government say are on a list. And so Portland sleptwalked into that. And the current, or the past, most of them are Democrats, if not all of them. But the former mayor of Portland, Charlie Hales, is adamantly anti-Trump. He's a Democrat. But yet, under Charlie Hales, he brought Portland into the JTTF. So what I'm saying is there's been a lot of federalization of Portland during the Obama administration that the people allowed, even though they're upset when Bush did it. So now there may be some people that are a little bit more awake than they were, simply because Trump is in the White House, but they're not awake enough. But this is typical of the intolerant left. They will be intolerant concerning concerns about the federal government if their guy is in power, and anyone questioning Clinton or anyone questioning Obama is considered to be their political enemy. You consider a right-wing conspiracy theorist. It's also unfortunate, I'll bring this up in every video, that lower-level intelligent voters, Donald Trump supporters, are confusing not humping the Trump or dissenting against Trump or not drinking the Kool-Aid with that of being a libtard. They've really generalized, and they've made the left to be a much bigger demographic than it actually is. They've demonized a great number of independent thinkers. But I'm going to save that for another video, because this is how you control a country and take it down. You convince both the left and the right to eat their own, like hyenas, anyone that's perceived to be their political enemy, right-winger or libtard. They've programmed the masses to attack the independent thinker who doesn't drink either flavors. And this has become an epidemic problem in this nation.